Action. Yeah. What's up, girl? Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, you better go toss that hair. We'll end this video right now. We'll roll. I do have a pretty wife. Okay, so little Camaro update real quick. And here in just a short, we'll do the Nova update because about ready to start throwing some shit together on that. So, let's talk about what I've done so far. So all the wiring is actually done other than me pulling the trigger wires from the Holly. I was trying to get the front suspension. I'm talking about the subframe for a minute. So I call them fish frames. But he goes by Fish. And one of the nicest front ends I have ever got. Put one under this car, put one in this car. And now we can offer this front end to you guys. So if you're interested in one of these front ends, they're fucking super nice and they're super reasonable. So Stacy will be, if you guys want one of these front ends, message the page and Stacy can send you pricing and all that stuff. They are custom made when you order them. And we're not talking about no 9-week lead time. Funny thing is, first time I ever called this guy, his voicemail says, hey, you've reached Fish. If you're in a hurry, you might as well hang up now. But he has banged these out every time I've ordered one. I got one for Dominator, got one for Ryan, got one for, who else did I get one for?
I can't remember.
But they're super, super nice subframes. So if you guys are interested in these subframes, they're all chrome moly, they're super light. But that's what I've been doing is I've been mocking all this stuff up. And then I found out that the only thing I bought so far, guys, is the exhaust kit from Holly and a wiring harness for the Terminator X that I already had. Something else is coming that Dave, Nitro Dave, at Nitrous Outlet, he and I were talking about something today that is going to be super cool that we're going to bolt underneath this blower. Tell you how cool it's going to be. I'll give you guys a heads up. So Dave now owns Meth Head's methanol injection. I'm telling him today I want to cool this blower charge and I'm going to put nitrous on it. Dave is going to come up with a plate here pretty quick that's going to have methanol as a separate unit and the nitrous in one plate. And it's a perimeter plate that he does. I think it's going to be stupid cool because then you can actually have the methanol injection without turning on the nitrous, or you can have the methanol injection and the nitrous at the same time, which we're going to test this theory out that Dave and I got because we think we can put it all in. Well, Dave, not me. I was just talking to him about how we could do it, and then bam, Dave's off on a whole nother tangent. I got an idea. We could do this or we could do that. So that's coming, and I think it's going to be a really cool deal because anybody that's doing, a lot of guys, I mean, let's be real here. You got a Pro Charger, you got a Vortec, you got any of those, or, you know, like a root style blower. Billet intakes are very expensive, you know, so a lot of guys use the elbow throttle body and a regular single Ford, like a 4500 intake, and they put runners in it. They put injectors in the runners. The way this deal is going to be set up, you could actually run nitrous or the methanol or both. So you get the cooling stuff of the methanol, plus this is a pump gas motor. So when I'm rolling it around, if I want to run it up 10 pounds of boost, I'm going to have 91 in the tank. The little methanol tank will have methanol, so it'd be a methanol injection. Two things, cools the blower, raises the octane of the fuel. I think it's going to be a really cool deal. You guys are fixing to see the first one that we're going to do for this car. What else did I do, Stacy? Gauges are ready to go in. Actually, my real good friend of mine, Richard's going to come over. He wired this car originally, and then I stole all the wiring out of it and put it in the gold car. So we're going to try to get the dash and all that stuff wrapped up tomorrow. Oh. So I didn't want to build custom stainless exhaust and all that shit like we normally do. I wanted something you guys could order right here. Flowmaster 3-inch exhaust kit. Goes all the way from the header collectors all the way out the back. And this fucking thing fit really nice. I had to pull the blocks out of the rear end because I had got the rear end so lowered in the car, couldn't get them up over the rear end. And that's a very, very affordable system. We're still sticking with a budget, although I just found out today, probably fixing to blow my budget by a little bit. I got to call Strange tomorrow and probably order a different disc brake kit. After we chase bearings down to adapt the hubs over to these spindles, which these spindles were actually made by Brent Austin. Guy had the Megalodon car. He custom made these spindles, came off a Reaper. So it's a drop spindle. And I mean, Brent Austin did a badass job making them spindles. But when I get everything together, I noticed that my little brake tab, none of my plates or adapters will fit. I had a set of Strange calipers that we ordered for backup calipers for Reaper. And actually I was gonna put these back in the new boxes and take the old ones off of Reaper. Fancy Reaper, whatever we're calling that now. Is it fancy?
It's fancy.
It's fancy. Okay, so we're gonna I'm gonna take the rear brakes off of Fancy, and these are the brand new calipers that I got for it. So still sticking with the used theory and the theme. Found a rack over off the 63 split window. I adapted all it over today. I got to get some longer tie rod deals because I'm about out of adjustment. But it's coming along really good. You guys here in a little bit are gonna meet a friend of mine, Russ, from Iowa, who came down from Iowa to help with the Chevy 2. So I got him over knocking parts off the Chevy 2. We'll do the video on it because that thing is gut shot, guys. Now it's time to start screwing it back together. Got the new Church Boys front end that we ordered a few months ago. When I was still doing the street show, I ordered the original subframe. Well, you know what? We'll do all that on the other video because there's been a lot of updates. And with the other frame out of the car station, he did a lot of updates. My shit looks antiquated now to the new shit these came up with. So we'll show you the differences in those because we're moving forward. I got the stainless tank in it. That's a stainless tank. Oh, see my little cute battery box says? So you know what this came out of? The one I stole out of the Nova.
Oh, yeah?
Well, yeah, because I'm putting different ones in it.
Oh, okay.
So, even stole a battery out of the Nova. Stole this out of the race trailer. But I made all the cables. Cables are run. I'm really down on the wiring just to make the connection. I got to build a cross member. Other than that, look underneath it. You ain't even seen it, have you? She's buttoned up, baby. The only thing I got left to do, because they said these long, so I'm waiting for my collectors, my flanges. As soon as I get those flanges so I can measure it accurately. By the way, did you order my Holly shopping cart? Still gonna be waiting on them flanges, ain't I?
I didn't know you had
I got a Holly shopping cart, yep. But all I gotta do is just trim them off. So these, the way they do this, it'll fit a big block, small block, whatever, LS. Check it out. Flowmaster 40 series, it's gonna have what they call an aggressive tone. In other words, it's gonna be a little loud. So, until, car's still got a 12 bolt in it with aftermarket axles and posi carry and all that. I have a feeling once I get this car to hook, I'm gonna be calling my boys at Quick Performance and saying, hey, I need a 9-inch. I don't know how long that ran. I mean, that's the rear end I ran in the Nova with the twin turbos and stuff. But you remember when it pulled the 4-foot wheel stand at Marty Chance's racetrack? And I broke the rear end and stuff in it.
Yeah, you broke a lot of stuff because we were...
I broke the ring gear, the posi set. So I replaced all that stuff, but at 600 horsepower, it'll be fine. But when I start cranking this thing up, don't know. Don't know how the GM 12 bolt's gonna hold. So that I'm gonna try it because it's the budget build. But Quick Performance is they're pretty damn reasonable on their 9-inch stuff too. We just put one in the G-body, ordered one for a friend of mine that ended up with a 70 model Firebird. He ended up out with my Pontiac motor. So I ordered all the stuff for him and pretty reasonable. So actually, you know, I've sold 3 Quick Performance rear ends since I got the one for the Buick.
There you go.
So, I think that's the update, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, 6A box. Couldn't find a 6A box. Actually, when we changed Fancy over to the red Holly coils, I had these coils, which I'm gonna say this. There's a reason some of them look a little rougher than the others, because some of them are the ones that burnt on the orange car, on the gold car. So I kind of so I cleaned them up, tested them. They still work. So I'm telling you,
You're scavenging.
I am scavenging parts. I'm using all the sensors, or all sensors that's been pulled off cars. I put that new relay on it, wiring harness, the exhaust, and it's looking like I'm gonna have to buy a brake kit for it. I could put a different set of brakes on it, but they won't match front to back, which I'm gonna stay with the budget and I'm gonna keep it budget minded. But at the end of the day, over what it's gonna cost me to buy some new brackets and the rotors, it's not worth putting mismatched brakes on this car. It's bad enough that one's got mismatched brakes. It's got strange on the front and somebody else's on the back.
Does it stop?
Don't know. Only got to drive it around the block once, remember? Smart ass. Wow. Wow. Well, somebody's supposed to have my back like you. I don't need nobody. Hey, if you're going to hate on me, honey, you got to go on the internet.
What?
I'm just saying, you got to go on the internet.
I'm just saying, if the car stops, it don't matter if it's got mismatched brakes or not.
Oh, I know what you really meant by that. You meant by the fact that I never even got to drive it but around the block twice. Pulled the motor back out, sent it to Kelly.
No.
And Kelly, if you're watching this video, go to that cold car. I even put the Chevelle hood on it just to try to make it look like it actually ran again. Kelly. Somebody asked the other day, because we showed the picture of the motor from Scotty. They said, I thought Kelly Blue Ball was building your motors. So guys, Kelly has 5 of my motors up there. Scott still has 3 motors up there. So Scott Duggins does build the motors, the twin turbo motors, and has been building the motors for Reaper and them for what, 5 years?
Yeah.
And somebody even made the comment, I hope you don't break no more motors. Guys, in all the years of me running Scott Duggins motors, when it exploded when it shattered the rods, that was not Scott Duggins' fault. That was our fault for being too fat on the fuel and it trying to hydrolock the motor. The last time when it broke the timing belt, my fault, had an oil leak. Scott Duggins motors, I've never had a mechanical failure in one of his motors, guys. And I mean, I've fed enough aluminum through those motors over the things that we had going on. No, guys, I haven't had issues like that. When I break that stuff, it's definitely not because of Scott Duggins' engine building abilities. I fucking promise you that. That guy has been phenomenal with us, and he's been great, and I've had great luck. But I've also had the LS7. The LS7 headed 440 inch, the LSR motor that was in the Chevy 2 that I raced the last part of the season. Kelly Blue Ball built it. He's also building, oh yeah, I'm not telling you about that. He built me a top secret motor. It's gonna be super cool. Pump gas friendly, boosted friendly. Another budget, kind of a budget build. That's kind of what I'm angling toward, guys. I want to try to show you guys, you don't have to have a ton of money to do this. You may not be able to use a 68 Camaro, but you can damn sure use a Buick Apollo or a G-body of some sort. The 73, 74 Novas. Those cars are 74 up Novas, the big bumper cars. Those things are still stupid cheap. So keep in mind, you probably can't do it with a 68 Camaro, just like you can't do what I'm doing with the Chevy 2, the budget motor that we're doing for it, the budget combination that we're doing with it. But guys, take the car itself out of the equation and look towards something like this is a stock suspension car. And it's stock suspension. As a matter of fact, the leaf springs that are on it are a factory set of leaf springs that I knocked all the extra
and not only that,
leaves out of it.
We've had this car for 10 plus years.
Oh, it's been longer than that. Because we got this right after we got together. Remember when I had the big block and the 4-speed or automatic in it, didn't it? And then I put a 4-speed in it.
I don't know. We bought this and my BMW at the same time.
Yep, yep.
And I want to say that was probably in the neighborhood of like 2011.
What did I get for this car when I bought it? It had a big block in it. It was a running, driving car.
I want to say like 16 or 18.
No, I think I gave 13 or 14 for it.
I don't remember.
But it had a brand new big block in it. I mean, I've had this car a long time.
Yeah.
And guys,
same thing with the Nova. We've had it a long time. So.
I've had that Nova for a long time.
Yeah.
I've had that Nova for 16 years.
Yeah.
Right?
2000, like 13 years.
Huh?
13 years.
It's been longer than that.
2010.
I don't know. Anyway, I've had it a long time. So, I'm trying to still stay with my budget. We can't find the blue door panels. We got the factory seats cleaned up. Show them that. Even though I hate blue interior. Oh, I hate blue interior.
They can't even appreciate this interior had they not seen it before.
Oh, before the guys cleaned it up?
Yeah.
Hey, I might have to do me a little fancy Bondo and smoothing up on that. Yeah, that's the factory seats out of it. I've actually got a set of the black factory seats. I might just put them black seats in it. So it's like I buy door panels anyway, Stacy. If you get the parts out, I think I got a black headliner back there. So all I'd have to do is technically vinyl dye the dash and a few plastic pieces. I can have a black interior, and that's all used stuff. I mean, I got the door panels and everything. We could change that over to a black interior. I got half of the carpet set that's black. I don't know what happened to the front part of the carpet set. Oh, I took it out of it when this burnt and put it in here, didn't I?
Ran off with the door panels.
Huh?
Front part of the carpet ran off with the door panels.
Oh, I tell you what, you on one today, girlfriend. You on one today. Okay, so I'm gonna call it on this project for the evening and go work on the Nova. To be seen later. Nova video. It's coming. Remember, guys, you want one of these frames. They're a lot more reasonable than you think. I'm not going to price it because on this deal, message Stacy. She'll take the order and we'll get you one of these frames built. I love this frame. I love that frame. Matter of fact, I told him the other day when we talked, start building me another one. And I'll tell you why later, Stacy, because I've just seen your eyes light up.
Oh, yeah.